Imagine waking up on a planet that is actively trying to kill you. The sky glows a sickly orange, and the heavy atmosphere physically pushes you down. You are standing on Venus. It shares roughly the same size and mass as Earth, but the environment is the exact opposite of hospitable. At ground zero, the surface temperature sits at around 465 degrees Celsius. That is hot enough to melt lead. Above you sits a crushing atmosphere composed almost entirely of carbon dioxide. The weather systems are equally hostile. The thick cloud cover rains pure sulfuric acid, and because the planet rotates so slowly, a single day here drags on for 243 Earth days. Between the extreme heat, the corrosive acid, and the heady pressure, natural human survival on the surface is a biological impossibility. Exposure results in immediate death. But consider a thought experiment. If human evolution was forced down a different path to survive in this environment naturally, what would that look like? The external physical mutations would be severe. We would need heat-resistant skin, reinforced with thick biological armor to defend against the searing acid rain. Internally, our anatomy would face an even harder task. We would require lungs re-engineered to filter toxic sulfuric gases directly out of the heavy carbon dioxide environment. To survive the Venusian surface without technology, human biology would have to diverge into a new, unrecognizable species. There is a scientific loophole. If we move straight up, exactly 50 kilometers into the Venusian atmosphere, the conditions shift. This specific altitude acts as the planet's Goldilocks zone. Here, the temperature drops to a manageable level, and the atmospheric pressure mirrors what we experience at sea level on Earth. Scientists propose that instead of colonizing the ground, a human settlement would exist suspended in the clouds, built entirely inside massive floating habitats. This diagram shows the core buoyancy mechanic. Because our breathable oxygen and nitrogen is lighter than Venus's carbon dioxide, it acts as a lifting gas, keeping the structure afloat. Simultaneously, an exterior shield repels acid clouds, while top arrays harvest solar radiation for power. Humanity's existence on Venus would rely on a delicate, high-stakes technological balancing act suspended miles above the surface. Inside the habitat, daily life would suffer from visual deprivation. The blue sky we know would be permanently replaced by a glowing, impenetrable orange haze outside the windows. Resources would dictate every action. Water would be strictly rationed inside closed-loop ecosystems, and traditional farming would be replaced by lab-grown food. Any attempt to move outside the city limits would demand a reliance on massive technological infrastructure. Traveling requires navigating utilitarian solar grids, deploying energy shields, and wearing heavy protective suits. The psychological toll of this lifestyle would be immense. Citizens would live with the constant knowledge that their environment is entirely artificial and that death lies just millimeters outside the walls. This survival comes at the cost of a connection to nature, reducing human life to a series of dependencies on life support machinery. Zooming out from the floating cities, Venus presents a planetary-scale forensic site. It wasn't always a dead rock. This animation illustrates the runaway greenhouse effect. A thick carbon dioxide atmosphere acts like an inescapable blanket. It lets energy from the sun in, but blocks that heat from bouncing back out into space. Fed by incoming solar radiation, this trapped heat created a fatal feedback loop, boiling away any ancient oceans and driving the surface to its current temperatures. Venus is the endgame of a planetary climate cycle pushed past the point of no return. This planetary autopsy points directly back to us. Earth is currently grappling with accelerating greenhouse gas emissions and a rapidly shifting climate. The survival mechanisms required on Venus, the artificial domes, the filtered air, the isolation from the weather, are the logical outcomes for any society that ruins its atmosphere. Looking at Venus gives us a view of a complete loss of balance with nature. We are looking at the autopsy of a twin planet. Whether we learn from it or repeat it is the final variable.